Welcome to Gem Collectors with Shawn. I am that Shawn, and I hope everybody is enjoying the cooler weather, the fall weather. Today here in Georgia, it's rainy, windy, just the kind of day I like. You know, when those leaves start blowing off the trees and they're coming across, and it's cool weather, makes you want to put on a second shirt or a t-shirt and a shirt kind of thing. I've never been a jacket guy. T-shirt and shirt usually does it for me. But I love this cool weather. And in the South here, it takes so long. We still have almost, very little color, almost all the leaves on the trees. And it's kind of neat to get the cool weather at the same time. So anyway, it lends itself for everybody to get outside and do some rock hunting. As Anthony says, eyes down. All right, for those of you that are joining the show and haven't seen it before, welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, a lot of you that are regulars to 4 years of me having this internet show, and then 9 years behind that having the live show here at Gem Shopping Network are quite familiar with how it's done and how we do this. Well, let me explain it for those of you that are new to the show. You can contact and write me a comment or answer the trivia questions at any time by just going simple, Shawn@gemshopping.com. Now, if you go to gemshopping.com, that's how you find one of the ways to find the area where you can fill out the information to leave a comments also. It has all the instructions, so you just don't have to hear it verbally from me. And it also will allow you, because one of the questions was, how can you get information for when this show posts? Well, just subscribe to the show. It's, of course, no cost or fee, but if you subscribe to the show, you will be notified on the events of the show. Now, last week, there might have been a little miscue on posting up the change of timing of the show, and I apologize for that. It was kind of an illness thing, and with changing over to the new format, everybody's kind of got to get in the groove. And I can say one thing, that here we lost one of our close members of the family, lost not in a bad way though. Susan, who so many of you are familiar with, and her name, she has retired. So it's kind of left a gap in some of the flow. So with her not in that position anymore, I've taken over the role of some of the comments, and everything's kind of getting divided up. And just give us time and we'll be a well-oiled machine there again, including on those of you that haven't received your free trivia gifts. I'll talk about that in a minute. Now, I want everybody to have a pen and paper so you can take notes, because a lot of times you will want to, and you need to have that pen and paper ready to go. So you can also write down the item numbers you might be interested in. Also, remember, anything that you see in this show and any of the other shows that you see posted, all that inventory is available if it hasn't been sold 24/7. We are a large actual network behind this show, and with a great shipping department that can ship even those fragile items that I offer. And of course, the amazing, amazing items offered in the other shows as well. So with that number that you see on the screen, all you have to do, if you can't sleep in the middle of the night and you just want to, you can now turn the TV on and watch it on YouTube. Watch this show on YouTube. And if you have the inclination to buy something at 4 a.m, guess what? There'll be a sales rep that will answer that phone. You won't get a automated dollar. You'll get a real person, and you can do your shopping in the middle of the night if you want. So they'll also be able to tell you what's available or not available in your item list. And then I want you to also start watching, if you haven't, the How it's done, or the how-to series that of 30 different episodes, we can call them, that cover every imaginable circumstance or project you would run across working with a goldsmith or your jeweler. And it has been, I host it and I do the work at the same time, directed by Asif, who is, of course, our production director, and can't have any better or any higher up person doing it than that. And it was amazing. I didn't realize really how crummy of a host I was until I actually got professional direction. So in working at the bench and talking at the same time, it often didn't jive. Well, Asif made it jive, and he was able to, with the help of Shawn, another Shawn, editing it, put together the most amazing series that I tell you what, it's probably one of the easiest to follow, most informational series and episodes of bench work you will ever run across. And make sure you take in everyone. By the time you're done, like I say, I should have a little diploma made up so that you should receive it, because the education and the knowledge you'll come away with is going to put you at a level of knowledge far beyond 90% of the people that work behind the counter at these, jewelry stores. So take that in. Let me see what else I need to cover. Okay, a couple of notes. Miss Ursula, on your project that we were drilling, that I was to drill for you, very unfortunate, and it happens, the piece split. So I wanted to tell you that firsthand. Of course, there won't be any charge to you, but that really, really thin ruby and smaragdite piece, just in drilling, it happens. And so that's on me, and I apologize to you for that. Now, I have to say something else. Poor Miss Ursula, she's having a bad run today. Back in September, and I know you've been looking for it every day, you won a honey opal piece, and I'm going to talk to you about that in a minute, because I don't want to tell you the rest of the story until I can show you how we're going to make up for it, now that I've got your interest there. Everybody, I just want to let you know, when you win a trivia gift, it takes a different path. It may be a little longer to receive than items you purchase. So if it gets past 3 or 4 weeks, though, do let me know. We've gotten kind of behind in the transition on a lot of those pieces, and Miss Ursula's was one of them, and I'll cover that a little bit further. Let me see all the other information. Go to gemshopping.com, and then go to, you'll see me on the homepage. Click on that, and that is how you'll be able to get to the rest of the information that you'll need from me. All right, now, for the we operate like a little gem family, and so we'd like for you to add your comments, join in, and answer the trivia question if you want to. And there's no wrong answer. The only wrong answer is the one you didn't try to answer at all, because in answering a question, whether it's right or wrong, it means you're using your brain to think and to remember. And that's what we want to do. We want to kind of trigger that ability for you to remember and recall the information given out. So we often cover a lot of different items. There'll be trivia questions at the end of the show, 2 trivia questions usually. And so you can go to your notes. We just ask that you don't rewind the show or anything to find the answers out. Not many comments this week, which raises the chance for everybody to be, for the ones that get the answer right, to win. Let me see. Okay, so some of you also commented about me having good luck with getting the booster. Well, let me just update you quickly on that. I did. I made the appointment. I went and got the booster, and I was eligible for not just the booster, which is actually, I found out so much, a half dose. I was eligible for a full regular dose, not just the booster shot, the regular dose, because I, as someone said in here, want to kick COVID's, long haul COVID, in the derriere and be done with it. And I thought this was my best chance at it. So in discussing it with a lot of different pharmacists and doctors, I got the full dose of Moderna, separate from Pfizer. But let me just say this, it is particular to me, not to many other people. I had a really strong reaction, but it told me it was working. It told me that it was working. So the reason I'm telling you this is because I almost didn't make this show, but I woke up this morning and I felt so much better than I did yesterday. But if I slide a little bit and am not quite myself, do forgive me for that. All right, we have some lot of fun things to cover, and I want to get to as many items as possible. Let's get to the trivia questions. Okay, so the two trivia questions we asked from last week were, what metal was mined from the Elmwood mine? Of course, we talk about the Elmwood mine in Tennessee, and we think about the calcites that come from there, the sphalites, the fluorites. We think about all these other wonderful crystal specimens, but we often don't think, well, what was their mine there originally for? Well, answer, zinc. It was there for a zinc mine. And then they happened to find, in mining for the zinc, all these other incredible specimens. So that was the answer to question number one. Question number two is, what was the origin of the name of the mineral agarine? What was the origin? And we often talk about where names come from and the importance of information in a name. And this one was kind of different from a lot of the others. A lot of the others are named in honor of somebody, or for the location of where something was found. Well, the origin of the name of the mineral agarine was from the Norse god Ager, or I guess it would be pronounced similar to that in a Norwegian or a Norse kind of language. I'm sure it would sound somewhat different, but Ager or Aegir. And in the end, the mineral was named, so that was the mineral was named after, because he was the god of the sea. And the agarine was originally discovered along the ocean side. So hence, that's how it got its name. A lot of minerals go through different name changes over time, because, you know, without a communication network, something can be discovered in one country in 1780 and another country 30 years later, and it'll be named something from the person in 1780, but that information doesn't get transferred to a person on another continent that discovered the same mineral maybe 10, 20 years later, and they've put a name to it. And, you know, eventually that's why they had to be a central organization and naming organization. And they really came together to straighten all this out in the 60s and 70s. And then you'll see names that are grandfathered in, that they kept the old names. Other ones, they did away with a lot of other names and just focused on a central name and kept it as such. A lot of names have other pseudo names still that they can go by in different places. Like Iceland spar. I mean, originally, you know, I used to think Iceland spar was a totally separate mineral. But as time went on and as I gathered more information in my head, I realized that Iceland spar is just pretty much optical calcite. It's calcite in its crystalline form that is very doubly refractive. And so, yes, some was found in Iceland, and so they give it the name Iceland spar, but it's found all around the world. So that's just one example of that. All right, so let's get to the comments, and then we'll move on to the incredible items I'm offering today, which you're going to really enjoy. Okay, so Miss Ursula, we'll start with you, Miss Ursula. Miss Ursula, Shawn, hello. I'm glad to see that you are feeling so much better. And you know what? That's so sweet of you, because so much better is a week-to-week thing. And if you would ask me 2 days ago and even yesterday, I was laid up bad. I did not think I would make it to today's show yesterday. And so, but the most of it passed, and I'm here. And like I said, I'm doing, put it this way, pun intended, I had one shot to get it right and try to kick this long haul COVID, and I took that shot, a full dose of it. You get the pun? One shot at it. All right, Miss Ursula says, Shawn, hello, I'm glad to see that you're feeling so much better. You certainly had us worried there for a while. Yes, me too. Absolutely loved your lesson about aneolite. Aneolite stemming from the word green of the Maasai people in northern Tanzania. The Aquamarine specimen from Malawi looked stunning, while the name makes reference to Aegir, the Norse god of the sea. We all love the way Miss Ursula answers her trivia questions. She answers her trivia questions in the form of a sentence or paragraph, an informational sentence. It's pretty cute. A special compliment to Dave for his fantastic camera work as he focused onto all those individual termination points. Yay, Dave. The Elmwood mine in Tennessee was known to produce mainly zinc. Right on. Shawn, as you always like to say, nothing happens by chance. Just before the airing of your podcast, I was viewing a video pertaining to the health benefits associated with zinc supplements and the positive impact it has on our immune system. You might want to give it a try. Sincerely, Miss Ursula. Miss Ursula, I can tell you, and I call her my witchy woman, the Raven. The Raven is got a cabinet full of potions and pills and all kinds of things that she's been treating not only herself, but myself with as well. Yeah, we believe in supplements, and I take zinc supplements every day along with magnesium and vitamin D and a general vitamin, because we saw and read things, anything to do with long haul COVID, to get rid of it. I mean, I saw we're eating yogurt, so I went on a yogurt kick. I've done it all, and yeah, we've got to get rid of this ongoing long haul thing, which left 30% of the population that has gotten COVID has it. So it's going to be an issue that has to be dealt with, and there are people studying it. I just wish they'd figure out something quicker and sooner, because it has really affected the quality of my life and has kept me from getting to the goal. I know where it is. I've got the equipment. I just need the health to be able to get the mining done. I have to may have to bring in some of the boys here, and may have to divvy up the mother lode there, because if I don't get it out of the ground, it's not going to do any of us any good. So may have to bring in some miners, or would-be miners. Yeah, maybe a all-inclusive kind of trip, because the beautiful Etowah River's right back behind me. I've got kayaks and canoes, and we could take a whole expedition down there. It's actually a 7-mile, Raven's done it with me several times, a 7-mile trip where you put in and can take out. And the neatest thing about that is you will not see one telephone line, not one house, not one sign of any humanity, which is rare to be able to do that. And the feeling it gives me, I can easily just feel like there's Cherokee Indians watching me, because there would have been, because this goes through nothing but the Cherokee Nation. And further down the river from the takeout point there are archaeological discoveries from where there was proof that the Cherokees did mine the Etowah, and they were aware that there was gold there. But guess what? From the conquistadors to when they discovered gold on the Cherokee Nation in 1828, and then rounded up the Cherokee and force marched them to Oklahoma in the Trail of Tears, they never discovered any hoard of Cherokee gold. It's the only tribal people that gold was proven to be on their land, but there was never any gold found. Unlike the Aztecs, which of course all their gold was taken by the Spanish and others. The Mayans, same thing. The Incan, same thing. And all the other Western Native American tribes. The Cherokee, no. They hid it. They hid the gold. And it's somewhere. It makes for a great lore. It makes for a great legend. And it makes for a lot of dreaming for us treasure hunters. So there is gold in them Nar Hills. And the only reason that the miners abandoned North Georgia was because 1848, what happened? Sutter's Mill in California. And they took off for better riches. Isn't that something? The grass is always greener, or we could say the gold is always bigger on the other side of the river. And that was it. That was it. They lost a lot of miners to a long trip out west, but along the way, what'd they do? Oh, they struck gold in Colorado. They found gold in Nevada. They found gold in the desert. Found gold all over out there. There's still gold out there too. Okay, so there you have it. And by the way, gold, that's why like in Goldschlager, liqueur or whatever it is, they have little gold leaf in there, and the gold leaf on a cake and things like that. You see, it is perfectly edible. Gold is not absorbed by the body. The body chemically does not absorb gold. So it has no effect on the body and just kind of passes right through. So that's why you can drink it or eat it. Just gold though. Now, if you get some gold amalgamated with mercury or something, that's a different story. Okay, Mr. Anthony in Massachusetts. Hello all. Thank you for the amazing blue agatized coral. Botryoidal blue. Come on, never seen that. And I've got some nice coral, and I'm a diver, but never had any clue about the fossilized material. Plus, need to be in the right place. Thank you, thank you. Well, that was an awful nicely well-written thank you, Mr. Anthony, and I appreciate that because that was really a rare and fine specimen that I should have hung on to. But see, you collect coral, you're a diver, you haven't found anything like that. The piece went to the right person, as it has happened so many times. I hope that booster shot kicks in and kicks the COVID's derriere, I'll say. You didn't say too bad of a word, but I'll be even nicer. Can kick COVID in the rear. Good to see you in high spirits. Great show. I scored some goodies. Now, Miss Gabby and the Raven. Well, I started dialing while you were describing the Aquamarine specimen. So I think that means he got it. Love that black-white contrast. And I think you were looking for a word, Shawn, juxtaposition, to describe the crystals. Anyway, that's what came to mind. Great word, actually, juxtaposition. And I wish I could have used a 50-cent word like that. That would have been wonderfully and perfect. I remembered the word I was thinking of. and it was monochromatic. So the two, being just singularly color against each other is supposed to be very in as far as fashion goes. But I think I like your word juxtaposition better. I did look it up to make sure that in my mind what it meant was how it could be used. And yeah, it would have been a perfect use of the word. Also scored the ruby zoisite. Oh, sorry, I mean the corundum pargasite zoisite. And that is actually, when I was reading about it, when they were trying to decide a name for it, that name was actually technically what they came up with for it, but decided it was way too big. Yeah, how are you going to say corundum pargasite zoisite? I'll take two of those. So they just leave out the pargasite part and say ruby and zoisite piece. And that's where eventually the eneolite, not sure exactly how they pronounce that, but that's the word that they came up with for the specimen, the Maasai did, because an eneolite means green in the Maasai language. So I think it's kind of funny because, in English, especially with the three different minerals in there, how I joke about, just add an "ite" to something and, I would know what it is. So that specimen being really unknown without a real name, eneolite or eneolite, what a great name. In other words, any name. But it actually is a Maasai word for green. So I think that should be adopted for that type of specimen overall. But until it's more widely known, we'll stick with ruby and zoisite. So we got that. He also scored the shoral specimen, that big black tourmaline crystal, I assume. Wow. That was a goodie for indeed. And the rhyolite slab, that would be the cat. That would be the calico cat. So being a lapidarist, as Anthony is, perfect piece because he can work it any way he would like, and there's a lot of great cutting material there indeed. Also, just as a little side note, I did, as I do all the specimens, believe it or not, and I have it right here, my Geiger, as the Raven calls it, my Geiger counter. And I have a really high-end, top of the line portable model, water resistant and whatnot. So I go over all the specimens with that just to check, and out of curiosity. And there is a area that reads higher than the ambient. In other words, radiation is anywhere from 30 to 50 counts per minute. And, anything less than, 20 to 30 times that is safe, relatively safe. In other words, bananas put off a reading due to the potassium in them. I've told you before, the Brazil nuts, they have a higher count per minute due to the absorption of the ground that they grow in, and it is collected in the Brazil nuts. But we're talking about so small of an amount over the norm that, of course, it's totally safe. Well, that slab actually has an area that reads a little bit higher, and it's an area reads around 90 counts per minute or something like that. But I was looking at it, and it's adding to the color of the yellow. The yellow area is where I picked up a little bit higher reading, and I thought that was real interesting because oftentimes I'm going to say not the way they actually say it, because these two will laugh if I actually say the name of what they call uranium oxide. We're not going to do that again. We're just going to say uranium oxide was used as a coloring agent making glass back in the day, and is also in specimens, including like the agatized corals and chalcedonies. Is what often creates that greenish yellow color you see, is a low level of uranium oxide. So that was neat also about the calico cat. Okay, let's see. Please, okay, so he's opting out from the contest because he had just won, but he gets it right. Metal found at Elmwood mine is zinc, and the North Sea god of gear is where Aquamarine gets its name. Well done, Anthony, on that one. But he's opting out, but he got the answers right. And if you want to opt out, yeah, just please still just participate anyway, because it's always fun to play a game and see if you would have been or could have been a potential winner. So, yep, you would have been in the drawing, but it's up to the individual if they want to opt out or not. It's not something that you have to do. Miss Gabby says, greetings, Rock family, from a cool, crisp, beautiful fall day in North Georgia. Now, Miss Gabby's got a home in Florida, and I know that she is right over here on Lake Lanier, where I used to have a house on Lake Lanier as well. So not too far. She lives not too, one of her homes not too far from where I live. So she knows all about this part of the country. Great show, Shawn and Raven. Just so happy to see you. Was somewhat concerned after no show and no update posted for the next one last week. And I'll make sure and I'll check next time that happens. And that's on me. I needed to follow up with not the production department, but the other department, and make sure that they get the information posted. But the best thing that you can do is to subscribe to the show so that email wise that information is sent to you, and that's the best way to do it. But don't apologize. Seeing you obviously feeling so much better was well worth the wait. Your spirits were definitely boosted. That's sweet. Was going to ask you about my wire wrap project. Thanks for being one step ahead and for the update. Your ESP must be working. I had just unpacked all my specimen ornaments right before the show started. Pics in the near future. Yes, everybody wants to see, because Miss Gabby got all these beautiful mineral ornaments that Summer, Raven's daughter, hand painted, and she's going to have an ornament Christmas tree of minerals, and I think that is going to be so neat and unique. And you know what? I would bet if you make that tree up and send the picture in to Rock and Gem, I would bet that you would get in there. It would get in there. I was thinking under the projects or somewhere. Send it to them. They'll. It's going to be too interesting and one of a kind for them not to want to try to find a place for that in the magazine. I think that would be cool. And if nothing else, send in a picture of your John's table that he made, and all the pictures as far as, you know, how they have on the inside cover of Craftsman of the Month. Well, he went one step beyond Craftsman. That is world-class artisanry. That is stunning, with the river of turquoise down the middle of that beautiful wooden table. Miss Penny and Mahalis say, and Mahalis is our youngest member of the Rock family, and Hollis is getting old. Wait till you hear this. Hello, Shawn, Raven, and Rock family. I hope everyone is well. Thank you for another great show. Your stockpiles are becoming nicer and nicer and even more difficult to resist. There was definitely some trivia envy on my behalf for Mr. Anthony's gift. Beautiful piece of agatized coral. Good on you, Mr. Anthony. Indeed, I had a little bit of reservations about giving that piece away, but all things happen for a reason. And my heart felt like it wanted to, and it went to the right home. The Elmwood mine metal is zinc, and I did get the fluorite with sphalerite specimen. And the Agarine is named after the god Aegir. I know you said more things about him, but I don't remember what. That's okay. That's honesty. I like that. I didn't even try for the Agarine specimen, but I do hope Miss Gabby got it. It was certainly outstanding and one of a kind. I missed out on the carved opal elephant, which was stunning. But I did get the Namibian amethyst and the Brazilian quartz specimen. My resolve to not purchase anything lasts about 24 hours. Oh, that's funny. Yep, that is not uncommon among us rockhounds. I'll keep my eyes and ears open for a gift for Mahala's 11th birthday coming up on February. Have a great week and hope to see you next week. Penny and Mahalis. I remember when he was 8 and going to be turning 9, and now he's going to be turning 11. Wow. But that's cool. That's cool. Miss Elisa in Florida. Hello, Shawn, Raven, Rock Family, and GSN crew. I'm glad you are feeling better, Shawn. Your show this week was another great one. Thank you for all the information you provide. There's so much to learn in each and every show. My answers this week are zinc and the North Sea god Aegir. Have a great week, everyone, and stay safe. Indeed. Well done on getting those right, Miss Elisa. Miss Barbara says, hi, Professor, Raven, and the whole Rock family. Just a quick note as I run off to my COVID-19 booster appointment. Oh my, what an upbeat show. Seems like you got a B12 chaser with your booster. Rock on. Oh boy, wouldn't those be nice? I could stand one about right now. Got really concerned for your health when the show didn't drop all week. Is there a way we can find out? Because we do worry, and the selling floor folks want to help, but just don't know. Something like a post of, all is well, just delayed till Tuesday or next week. And again, I'll follow up on that, and I think that is my fault with Susan not being here. But there is someone that I can send that information to, and I'll get that worked out and coordinated. It's just this new format. And I tell you what, everybody's been really, really busy around here. A lot of things are going on here at the network. You're going to see changes in the future, not only physical changes, but also people changes. So, yeah. But I'll make sure that that information is put up in the future. Grabbed one of the Elmwood fluorites. Had just seen a presentation of rare iridescent sphalerite from a small pocket at that location. How timely. No, how magical. How magical is that? And you, Miss Barbara, just had that experience, okay? And had just read about the sphalerite and got one of the fluorites from there. And look at Miss Ursula's experience where she was reading about zinc, and then the Elmwood mine sphalerite and fluorite came up for her as well. So both having a connection to zinc, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, because sphalerite is a zinc sulfide. And yes, there is iridescent sphalerite. I have seen some. I won't say I have some, because then you'll want it. Love the color zoning in these fluorites. Looking forward to a leisurely exam of every inch of that specimen. The raised growth pattern seemed to be the start of a ball-shaped habit I've seen in some fluorites from India. I've seen those fluorites. I've seen them. And they do form in a ball. They are so cool to see that. And yes, on those fluorites, go over every little bit of it, because they're, I love those little, almost little explosions of blue. I don't know how it happens geologically or in the crystal growth, but I've noticed that it's one way to spot Elmwood fluorites. Now, that may occur in some others, but I haven't seen it in others from other locations. just really mostly the Elmwood ones. And if you go to and research and look, and then are able to zoom into the pictures of other fluorites from Elmwood, you will see those little dots of color in the pictures as well. So it was definitely a confirmation of Elmwood origin. I already knew they were from, because origin is something I take seriously. So I always verify. And yeah, it was a good additional verification for that. But those fluorites are becoming so rare that mine has closed. Not only the fluorites, but the calcites, but more so the fluorites. The fluorites are more impressive to me than the calcites, even though they're stunning calcites. But there's also stunning calcites that come from other places. It's part of my Made in the USA collection, those fluorites, and offering up 2 of them. I feel like I was giving up my babies. Off to get my jab. Be well all. Miss Barbara from Brooklyn. Okay, so I think that is it. Yeah, we're going to get on to the winner. And the winner this week is, since we had an opt-out or 2, there wasn't that much competition. So there was a high chance for Miss Penny to win. Congratulations, Miss Penny. You're the winner. And let us show you. Dave's got an excellent angle on exactly what you have won. And what a true treasure that is. Look at that. Look at the color. That is what they call a palm stone, a palm-sized stone. And this is, of course, labradorite. And it is a stunning amount of color coming out of there. And what a beautiful, you can see it why they call it a palm stone. And it has also really neat other reflections coming out of it as well. As you can see right there. Polished on both sides, nice size stone. And you can even put something on top of it and use it as a base to rest something else. Now let me show you. Look at this. Look at the purple in this. That purple, wow. That purple is the rarest color in labradorite and extremely sought after. So, wow, that is a wonderful item to add to yours and Mahalis's collection. Now, while we have this here, let me go ahead and explain to Miss Ursula. As you can see, we have the information on the item up on the graphics up there, but we do not have the item number. Well, Miss Ursula, back in September, when you won your free item, accidentally, I put the item number was put up in the graphic. And if you can believe this or not, I mean, I hate to say it because we've been such a great little family. Somebody actually called in and got the free item. Got the free item when it was obviously they were not entitled to receive it. And in doing research on trying to recover, it was, remember the honey opal piece. I know Miss Ursula knows which one it was, and I'm sure all of you do now that I say the honey opal piece. So in trying to recover the piece, I'm not even going to say client or member of the group, because he was someone that had not purchased anything before and knows that what he did was something he shouldn't have done, but your item is not going to be recoverable. Your free item is not going to be recoverable. And that said, left it up to me to try to find a replacement for you, because that honey opal was such a rare item. I do not want to disappoint. So in my typical fashion, in making up for something that was my fault, this is what I have found. I went deep into my personal collection. You remember the color on the side of that one piece of honey opal? Well, let me just show you something much, much more impressive. Here's a piece I am replacing it with. Look at the color in this. This is a multitudes of additional color, a lot thicker, much brighter. And let me see, look at this from this side. Look how thick the color bar is and the beautiful orange here. So in trying to make up for the wrong, I am giving you something a lot nicer, and it doesn't end there. That piece you get, and I am also including this one as well, because I know this one is cut at an angle, and I know you wanted to use it, I think, as a base to put another specimen on. So I had this flat one that's perfectly flat and even. And look at the color in this. You can spray it to get a brighter finish on it if you want. This has some outstanding color in it. And of course, if this was polished, you'd see it on the exterior as well. This has color in along there also, and will certainly, look at that, will certainly work well for you to use it as a display stand, as you had talked about. So you get 2 for the loss of 1. And I apologize, because that was back like 6, 7, 8 weeks ago now. And I'm sorry for the delay, but that is what happened. We were kind of all surprised that someone would do that. And if they are listening now, I still would ask that you return the free item that you were not entitled to. And that's all I'm going to say about that, trying to take the higher road here when I want to take the dirt road from deliverance. Okay, there we go. Congratulations again to Miss Ursula on her second win. And then look at that, to Miss Penny and Mahalis. I'm sure you'll find a lot of joy in that. All right, let me tuck these away. We'll be right back with the show. Okay, so we were talking about the Crabtree mine the other week, right? Yep, we sure were. It was a trivia question. What was the best known emerald mine? Which, of course, some people may have different opinions on that. There's the Wrist mine, Emerald Hollow, but really the Crabtree mine, to me, has produced over time and is probably the best known, in my opinion. Now, this happens to be from, I just put the Spruce Pine District, but it is the Crabtree mine that it is from. And it comes with a stand. And the Spruce Pine District is so absolutely gorgeous, even if you weren't into rocks and minerals. But when you get out the old maps of the mines, it looks like it doesn't look like you could throw a rock anywhere and hit a mine. I mean, there are so many mines in that county, it's crazy over time, because there is geologically just a large number of pegmatites. And wow, if there was a area in the east to move to, it'd be there. Now, there's always new things to find. And a lot of times, though, there's still great things to find in the old mine tailings. And that's why I'm always interested in them. You never know. I mean, when there's a pyrite mine that Raven and I want to excavate, if we could get to it, the reality of it was, all the old timers in the area said, "Oh, that's just a pyrite mine, which would be an iron mine." Well, we checked it out, and the amount of what was left, the amount of tailings, and it actually runs underneath Highway 369 now, the mine, and would easily equate to probably at least a mile's worth of underground workings. Then they had huge concrete blocks left where they had attached the steam engine and the what am I looking for? The trolley or the tram. I guess the tram wires to bring the ore carts in and out, because to get into the mine shaft was a good 45-degree incline downwards, and so there was no way that they would be able to pull the ore carts up and out. So there was a huge investment in the development of the mine, and you don't even see it until you're at the edge of it. I discovered it through this old timer just mentioning it. So on a hot day, I went looking for it, and it was very difficult to spot until you're right next to it. And when you're right next to it, if you take one extra step, you will fall a good 60 feet into a hole that is at least 60 feet across. And there's an area, if you could dig out, you would be able to get to the opening and break open the mine shaft, which I would love to do and get back down in there. But that would be far too much. But it's funny. You don't put that kind of investment into a pyrite mine, which would be technically an iron ore mine. There are so many more prolific iron ore mines than any here in Georgia. What it was a cover-up for the fact that it was a gold mine. So a lot of times that would happen. People would say, oh, I'm mining iron. I'm mining something else. They don't want it to be known that they're truly excavating for gold. And so word gets passed around that it's a pyrite mine. And that still, this guy lived there and his family in the house, and it looked like that kind of house for over 100 years. And that was his, I had showed you a picture of him with his black billy goat and long white beard. And he was sitting out in an open field. And this is how I discover things. I just have the nerve. I stop my truck, and looking like I did, can scare some people. Some people might not like long-haired hippie type, but he had a long white beard, and he was the nicest person. I sat and chatted with him out in the middle of the field for the longest time. And his black billy goat was very cutely named Buckwheat. And he had all the information I needed. And if I would not have done that, I would never have found the remnants of this pyrite mine. Now, I say that because guess what? The tailings, and I showed Raven, the tailings run pile after pile, these neat, even tailings, row after row. And it really gives you the idea of how much material was removed. Well, guess what? I could care less if I can't get into the mine now. I want to dig into those tailings because they weren't really mining for pyrite. Pyrite was what they call a gangue mineral, a mineral that was just like rhodochrosite. Rhodochrosite in the Sweet Home mine was a gangue mineral, a mineral that was a useless mineral that they discarded to the ore piles on their way to trying to find silver, something more valuable. Well, same thing. So I want to dig in the ore piles because you know what? I'm going to find pyrite crystals. I'm going to find those kind of neat things that they pulled out in the search of gold. So now, in this case, the Crabtree mine, a lot of the emeralds, as you can see here, ran in an ore material. I'm still thinking I'm mining metals, but ran in a matrix material of hornblende, potentially epidote, and tourmaline. And what you see here in these crystals is hornblende, which is remember Shermacite is a type of hornblende. It all belongs to the amphibole family. And this piece happens to have some really, really attractive large emeralds in it. And you can see, look at the green in this. I cut this off of a piece myself that I had, and I slabbed it because you know what? None of these emeralds would have been visible from the, except a little speck from the outside. This is always what I say. You never know what is on the inside of a rock. And so this was like a small rock. And I thought, wow, to find out and get the most value, so to speak, would be to just slice it and see what is on the inside. And if I would not have come across, look at this, all this cool material. And then look at that emerald. Look at the size of that emerald. And up here, I would not have run across those emeralds. They would have been hidden, thank you, sir, forever on the inside of, look at that. All what would have been seen is this little speck on the outside of the rock. None of that big, long crystal would have been visible. That's what I always say when I always say, oh, I wonder what's on the inside. You just never know. Well, this is one of those cases where there was and is something magnificent on the inside. And that's the result of it. So I did one of my little spray polishes because it kind of gives it that wet look and brings out the color. Now I have this at a ridiculous price opportunity, and this one is one that comes with a stand. So if you want a true Crabtree, North Carolina emerald piece in matrix, you would not be able to go wrong because this is going to be only $48. $48 on that. And that can add to your collection for emerald. Wow, what a piece. Now, yes, as has been noted, that I'm getting deeper and deeper into the collection, and the pieces, I think it was Miss Penny said, are getting more and more irresistible. And this one you may find the same feeling. Item number 1032821. 1032821. Look at this. Yes, natural color. Pal d'Arco. Pal d'Arco is, to me, the finest amethyst really there is. You can have Collier, Guayan, and you can talk about Siberian and red and blue flash and this and that. Well, Pal d'Arco, I have been familiar with this from my Brazilian dealer decades and decades ago. And that was always his opinion, that the Pal d'Arco amethyst, true Pal d'Arco, was the finest that he had ever seen or known. And you can see that by a specimen like this. Take this in the sunlight for maximum effect if you want to see blue and red flashes, but you can, by the intensity and saturation of this kind of color, it can't help but to have those flashes. Now, see these specks? Oh yeah, they're exactly what you think they are. They are calcite crystals added. Now, as we explore this closer, you're going to be able to see, let me hold it against my hand so you can truly see that this is natural color. This isn't treated in any way. And remember, calcites are low temperature formed minerals. So any treatment would have destroyed them. Just letting you know. That's one way to tell you get the real thing. Now, I'm going to use just a little flashlight here, and let's see if we can bring out any of, okay, well, there's your blue. There's phantoms in these. There is phantom formations in them. And you just have to, well, that's the fun of it. Have fun by playing with it and using a optivisor, which I suggest everybody get. That way it can be hands-free magnification, and then you can just take all day long to look into this and explore it. Look at the calcites. And I'm trying to find, because I found it ahead of time, but of course I can't find it now. There is a couple of very obvious phantoms in this piece and some other neat, unusual, there's one right there, unusual formations for crystalline growth. I'm going to leave it up to whoever is lucky enough to get this piece to discover what I did and the fun I had with it. Look at that. Look at that. Talk about intense. And then you have this wonderful agate banding right here. And the nice thing is, this is, look at this. There's no saw cuts. It's all a natural exterior. There's none of the plaster that they add for strengthening when they do and work with the geodes. This is a stunning piece. Opportunity price, $44. Only $44. And it sits and displays itself wonderfully, just like you see it. That's a neat treasure. That is a really neat treasure. The intensity of the amethyst is like no other. Like no other. Now, yes, you're getting to see the cool stuff. This next one, item 1033421. 1033421. And one of the rarest minerals you'll see is this next piece. Look at this. Now, you're seeing that, what it is. Yep, you're seeing it. That is red beryl. Not too impressed, huh? You never know what's on the inside, or you never know what's on the outside. Huh? Aren't I a drama king? Look at that red beryl. And of course, I have it in one of these suspension boxes that you'll get. Red beryl, still to me, probably deservedly so, one of the most valuable gems there is in a price per carat situation. Extremely rare, found nowhere else but the Wawa Mountains. And this piece of rhyolite actually is real unusual because it is just full of other red beryl inclusions in the rhyolite. But this is what's cool. Now, this would be neat to have wire wrapped or such like that. If you wanted to make a piece of jewelry with it, that would be cool. That would be a great way to show it off. Or I tell you what, if you don't have a red beryl to add to your collection, there is one for you right there, and that will give you another item in the collection. And if you hear anybody use the term red emerald for it, well, I would, be tempted to slap them down, but that's not very nice, is it? No. I just say that because that's such a misnomer. Red emerald, give me a break. No. They tried to get away with that for a little while, and but I still see that term used in the retail environment because, I guess maybe they're helping people to understand exactly what it is. Doesn't have anything to do with, emerald per se. It's a beryl, and it is red due to metallic inclusions of course, one of the primary coloring agents for a lot of red colors, manganese. And that is a really nice shaped crystal to be right amongst all those other little streaks of red beryl running in that piece as well. This price, kind of ridiculous, $34. That's ridiculous. Only $34 on that one. A really great find. All right. Now, let me tuck that one away safely, and I'll be right back. Now, that's the color of ruby when you think of ruby. There's so many of these other colors that they can call ruby. In Asia, anything pink, even pinkish, whatever, it's all called and accepted as being called ruby. But here in the States, we get a lot more particular. It has to be a true red, or else it's a pink sapphire. This is an incredible color red. Look at that. That is a fiery red. And the other thing you have to watch for is, and we covered this before, the fracture-filled or the treated corundum is so prevalent. And unless you really know what you're looking for, the internet is so full of that stuff. It made me sick to see how much of it is being offered, and the way they word it. The way they word it doesn't even give you the information you would need to know that it has been messed with. This is the real deal. Now, for origin, these are old stones, and I'm talking about going back to the 70s and whatnot. So by time deduction, you can rule out certain origins. It's certainly not the color of a Thai ruby. It's certainly, because of its age, it has not going to be a Mozambique ruby. They weren't discovered until later. So you're down to Madagascar or Burma. Now, that would be something unknown, but still, because of how old the stone is, I would, by default, call it Burma, but, you know, that's not what I'm actually saying it is. I'm just giving you the information for you to use appropriately. Now, price-wise, I have an incredible opportunity on this. If you want to grab this carat 20 stone, I am offering it for $25. For $25. And let me show it to you. Look at this. All right, so let's put it up to a known Burma ruby, which is the one in my ring, and which is a no heat facet grade. And you can see, there you go. So if I was using a color chart or a color comparison, I would say that's a pretty close match. Yeah, so anyway, this stone for cutters, what a great piece to, if you wanted to recut it. It could really brighten it up if you wanted to. You have a carat 20 to play with. You have 20 points, still keep it over a carat. That'd be a great stone for the money. How can it not be? Let's look at item number 1014521. 1014521. Let's see what that gets us. We are still in the corundum family, and you're going to see why I'm in the corundum family, because I'm going to segue to another piece of corundum here shortly that is, well, a real storyteller. Look at this. Look at this. A little better clarity. Color, a little bit more pink. Natural stone, nevertheless. And that's what you want. Now, you can see the difference in the depth of cut. The other one a lot deeper. And this one a lot shallower, so for less weight, you probably have a bigger dimensions. Yeah, 7.2 by 5.6. 95 point. Price on this guy? I don't know why, but it's I have $24 on there. $24. I'm going to tell you what. I mean, these at $100 a carat, it would be a fair value. this is such an old price on those rubies, I can't even tell you. What an opportunity. What an opportunity. Now, I have a really incredible stone here that's for recutting. I won't show it now. Anthony, if you're interested in it, it's a ruby that's got a chip on the back, but it's a great stone and very inexpensive. Now, you saw those two. Let me show you something that you will have never seen or most likely ever heard of before. And I'm not kidding you. This is something that it is one of the most phenomenal and rarest finds ever. And yes, when I'm getting to something like this in our collection, we are going really, really deep into the collection, and I am very sorrowful that I'm at that point, but I want to share. Let me show you item number coming up. Take a glance at that for a moment. This is item number 1032621. And if you can see the label back there, look at how old the label is. Look at how old the perky box it's in. You are talking about a blue sapphire from New Jersey. I am not kidding you. From Sparta Junction, New Jersey. Who would have ever thought? I wasn't even familiar with, until I got this specimen, that New Jersey had sapphires at all. But yes, there is a deposit. Well, not necessarily a deposit. There is a quarry there. The Lime Crest Quarry. It's a quarry for marble and lime. And listen to this. It was started in 1895. In 1906, Thomas Edison, yes, the Thomas Edison, Thomas Alva Edison, bought it and operated it for lime for his iron mining business. And thereafter, for his Portland cement business. We talk about and use the term Portland cement to this day. To this day, Portland cement is a name brand and is well known as the cement. Portland cement. Thomas Edison. This quarry ended up to be quite large over time, and it operated, and then at a point they discontinued operation, and the bottom portion filled up with water. Now, currently, they've pumped out the water and are back to mining it for only part of it, though, for a type of what we call here crush and run. And it is for gravel roads. It's that kind of rock that they are mining, and for the portion that the sapphires were discovered is long gone. No more sapphires have been recovered in decades and decades and decades. And to have a sapphire crystal from this particular location, you can see the tag. It's the original label. I didn't write the BHH on there. Someone else did. It says blue sapphire XLS crystals from Sparta Junction, New Jersey. Now, the Lime Crest Quarry is what they're referring to. Now, we're going to inspect this in a moment. This is, I have on the label, museum rarity. In other words, this basically is a museum grade specimen, not due to its quality, not due to its size, but due to its location, due to the rarity of where it was found and its location. You could go to 100 shows and never find a sapphire crystal, let alone a large one like this, from New Jersey. This is considered a very large specimen, and it's blue. Let's look at this a little closer now. Let's move that back. Look at this. Look at the blue. Look at this. Now, there's also Phlogopite and Microcline. Microcline is what you're seeing that looks like moonstone. This material right here, and if I can get a reflection off of there we go. There we go. You see the face right there. Moonstone. Phlogopite is one of the types of mica, and there's rutile. And you have rutile and Phlogopite. The rutile is the reddish material. Look at these blue crystals. Look at the blue in them. Oh, great. Let me show you. Look at that. You are talking about sapphires from New Jersey. You know, when look at that. When we talked about sapphires not long ago, I mentioned the only place really for corundum we were talking about was Cowie Valley in North Carolina and Yoga Gulch and that deposit in Montana. Never did I mention New Jersey, nor would anyone else. These are, of course, no heat, natural color, and large for the locality, especially for any locality, they're large. Look at the color blue. This is one of the most, in my collection, it was one of the rare, look at that, one of the rarest items that I have. Look at that. Look at that. That is, if you've ever been or lived in New Jersey or have a connection to New Jersey, you know, Franklin, New Jersey is famous for its very well-known fluorescent minerals. People don't realize there's actually hills and kind of mountains in New Jersey. There's a lot of geology going on in New Jersey. You know, it's not just the pine barrens where they throw the mobsters. It's has a geology to it that is well known. Now look at that. You can see the red on that. Look at the red reflecting off that particular piece. That's rutile. Look at that. I can just look at that okay, see, look at the 6 sides at the end of that crystal. There is so much exploration to be done. Thank you, sir. On this piece. Whoever gets this, you can spend a lot of time checking it out. I did. I had not looked at this in my collection in a long time. And it just mesmerized me. Yep. Okay, let's check these out. Let me look at my notes here. Okay, yes, good point. There's another one we didn't mention. There's amphibole, the amphibole family, which could be hornblende, most likely. But when they talk about the amphibole family, some of them are so close chemically that unless you have them chemically analyzed, they just say it's an amphibole, because there could be many other similar minerals that fall underneath that family. Oh yeah, great shot. And that's what we're looking at. Now this particular one right here, if they have 6 sides to them, they're going to be phlogopite or a mica. Oh, here's the one. Yep, good job, Dave, on pointing it out. Let me get my pointer. This is the one I wanted to show because it is a perfect crystal form. This one right here. And that one right there. Those 2 crystals, this one is mica. Those 2 crystals have a perfect crystal form to them. And there we go. You can see the reflected face right there. And look at that one. And then the reflected face right there. And under higher magnification, you can actually see all sides of it. Those are exactly, they're the amphibole. And wow. So let's count. We have sapphire, we have microcline, moonstone basically. We have amphibole, we have rutile, and we have phlogopite. So we're looking at 5 different crystals in this specimen. But by weight, seeing that sapphire is such a heavy, has such a high specific gravity and density, and this is a heavy specimen, there's more corundum in here by weight than there is anything else. And wow, look at that. That's all sapphire. That is sapphire right there. And it would have been a shame if this would have been taken apart to cut. But if you did, and you came out with any kind of quality in whether you cabbed it or faceted it, what a rarity it would be to have a New Jersey cut sapphire. But I tell you what, this specimen, you leave it alone. Can we go right here a little closer? Look at these 2 intense places of blue right there. Oh yeah, let's keep it right there for a minute. This piece is by far going to be one of the rarest. Oh yeah, here's the rutile. Here's one of the big spots of rutile right there. One of the rarest items you'll ever have in your collection. A New Jersey sapphire crystal cluster from a place that Thomas Edison once operated for lime so he could smelt his iron ore. Isn't that amazing history? Amazing history. This is a true, what I call, museum rarity. Museum rarity. And it's a tag like that that goes so very far into helping to establish provenance. Now, when I did some research under MINDAT, which is one of the biggest and best sources for specimens and information on localities, they had one picture. Now, like, let's say, sapphire in general, thousands. They had thousands of images. Same thing with, amethyst, thousands, and all the locations from around the world. But when it came to the location of New Jersey, and this particular location, or New Jersey in general, because sapphires weren't found anywhere else but this one location, the Lime Crest Quarry, there was no other pictures except one picture, and this specimen was nicer than that one. And the comment said that it is extremely rare to find these specimens in the market. It is only because I want to know where this goes and winds up and what, that I would offer it at all. But I have enjoyed, I'm going to use the word possessing it, because it has given me that kind of, I feel like, energy. Price on this is an exceptional value. And it's a price that I will never budge from, because I think it is truly probably a fraction of what it's actually worth in the market. And I'm very reticent to even put this price up on it, because I think, I know that it is worth a lot more in the market. And I mean a lot more in the market. Only $358. $358. And it's one of those, okay, go find another one then. And I don't mean that in a smart way. I mean that in a reality way. Because all of you out there, including, the very well-known and astute members of our group, Miss Gabby, Miss Barbara, and so many of you others, know you've never heard of a New Jersey sapphire specimen. Look at this. This isn't one single crystal. This is a crystal cluster in matrix, like we all like I know Miss Gabby likes, as opposed to a crystal by itself. No, this is so much more impressive. And to have 5 related minerals, and the time it took hours of studying for me to be able to figure out every single mineral that was here. Because look at, they're just little black crystals, but they are different minerals. And I've listed them, and once you see them, you'll know which ones, which are which. You can tell a mica, the phlogopite. I've always spotted and told you those little crystals, amphiboles. And then the other one, there's a couple places of rutile. You can see that because the rutile has a little reddish tint to it. And then the microcline in the feldspar, you can tell because of the reflection of it. Look at the length of that. I am sure the price I just put up there, and it's not here's the thing. This isn't just corundum. This is a true sapphire. It is blue. It's what you think. It is incredibly, incredibly special and rare. And there you have it. It is one of the rarest pieces I'll ever have. Coming from a mine that Thomas Edison operated. I think that is just stunning and so illuminating, and adds so much more oomph to this piece. If that's a descriptive word, I don't know. But it feels like a lot of oomph to me. So the Lime Crest Quarry. Look it up right now or be running to the phone to get it. Yep. 164 carats. Beautiful piece. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. Now, item 1032921. 1032921. I'm going to show you something else that is extremely rare. These pieces take a few minutes each to talk about because you haven't seen anything like them. Check this out. Look at this. Norway Peridot. Norway Peridot. I am not kidding you. When have you even heard or seen? Yes, we are talking about museum rarity. I'm not going to say museum quality, because if you look at quality, you think about clarity and these kind of things. But they are museum to world class for rarity. This from Norway with talc. With talc. The mine is closed. This specimen was mined in the 60s and from what is known as the olivine pit. The olivine pit. Let's see if this stands. It does. Look at that. It stands on its own even, and it hasn't even been worked. That's just the natural base. It hasn't been worked at all. Look at that. Have you ever seen such a beautiful cluster of peridot? No, no, you haven't. Here it is. This is remarkable. And if you wanted to, you could, remember, talc's a hardness of 1. I was taking my finger and peeling some of this away. You could always do more specimen preparation on it if you wanted. Look at this. This is from Norway. Go find another one of those. There's no telling what that would sell for. Absolutely, I have no idea, because there is none to compare to. There is none you can find at a show. Nobody has this. Nobody has anything like this. This is from a mine so old, going back a long time. Now, in the metaphysical world, the other great thing about peridot, it's a positive energy stone, also known as chrysolite. Maybe that's why I'm getting fired up just talking about it, because of the positive energy it is bringing out. It's believe it or not, peridot is a variety of forsterite. The other is phaolite. So it depends on the iron content. Iron is the coloring agent. The chemical formula is simple, Mg2SiO4. So it's just a magnesium silicate. Peridot from the Arabic word Peridot. So it has its roots in an Arabic word, Peridot, which means gem. Which means gem. Now that is a description and a word that makes sense and has information in the name, especially if you spoke Arabic. Now, the word talc, that's an Arabic word also. Talq. And in Arabic, it means pure because of the white, because of how white it is. And the talc chemical formula, Mg2Si4OH. What does that tell you? We have both our magnesium silicates. In other words, magnesium, silicon, and oxygen were present, and in one form and crystal form, you get peridot. The other, you get the softest element there, mineral there is on the Mohs scale, hardness of 1. And like I said, I can sit here and you can see me flake it off with my fingernail. Fingernail's only like 2.5. Look at these crystals. This is by far something you have never seen. I know, because I had never seen it. I got some special pieces so long ago in an estate buy. This piece, again, I have no idea of how to price it or the value. I just know that $188 has to be a steal. Has to be a steal. We're not done with the great stuff. Let's look at 1033521. $188. 188, which has to be extremely undervalued. I mean, that is cool, so cool. When do you ever see peridot as a crystal cluster? You don't. You don't. It is that unique, that rare, and I think I just really, really underpriced it. Let me go to item 1033121. Sticking with peridot. Yes, look at that. Let's go to Pakistan. Let's go to Pakistan. This is a great crystal because it doesn't have lugwigite in it. Remember when I used to say, or used to tell you the story when I had some of these crystals? I have not offered one in a long time, but they often will have black inclusions, lines in them that look like tourmaline or look like rutile. And with the Pakistani dealer, I was working with him and he said, that's lugwigite. He goes, I usually have to tell everyone that it's rutile because they don't know what lugwigite is. So he goes, I just say it's rutile in there. And this is how things go wrong in the gem and mineral business, is because he's saying something that it is completely erroneous, even though he knows what the inclusions are. But he is doing that because he knows people can relate to rutile and have no idea what lugwigite is. Fortunately, you don't have to worry about this specimen because it doesn't have either. It is actually not rutile found in these from Pakistan. It's lugwigite. This doesn't have those inclusions, which is actually rare for it not to. What is rare is look at that neon green and that beautiful crystalline form, which you almost never see in peridot. And please don't ever say peridot. That is absolutely incorrect and would show and tell anybody you're speaking to that you're a rookie. The correct pronunciation is a silent T. Peridot. Peridot. This is a stunning piece, such a bright, bright stone, and such a rarity, but I'm giving it away for only $28. $28 on that. Take advantage. Item number 1033521. Yeah, the clock's running down on me, but these pieces take more than a minute to talk about because I have got the good stuff out. Look at this. Look at this. Now, this is from the other collection. I have the Made in America collection of that I focused in on over the years. The other one was January's birthstone, being my birthstone. Garnet collections. And this is what you're seeing. It is known as rosolite. Rosolite, not rosolite. That's a different mineral. Rosolite. It is really, to me, I like to call it pink grossular. is a descriptive way. Rosolite, a lot of people won't know what that is. Wow. Lake Jaco in Mexico. That is where these come from. They are stunning. As we come in closer, stunning dodecahedron crystals of a type of grossular that has this incredible color. And it is in this, what they call skarn, matrix. Look at these pieces. Look at this. This is simply beautiful. This is from my own collection, of course. And wow, would make a beautiful addition to anyone's collection. Graciela Garnet. This is a calcium aluminum silicate. That's all it is. So it's one of the calcium garnets. And skarn is coarse-grained metamorphic rock that is rich in calcium, iron, magnesium, manganese, aluminum, and silicate. So the skarn has all these minerals present in it that easily many other minerals can develop from that. And there's also, and I'll let you do the figuring out and ciphering, some other minerals that are in this. Like, let me just look at this one. Look at this particular mineral that is inside that garnet as part of it. That's something different. Just do a little research. You'll be able to figure it out. Oh, that's a beautiful piece. All right. Opportunity on this one, and it is exactly that, an opportunity. Only $88 on this one. $88 on that. And that's a beauty. That's gorgeous. All right, now this next piece, wow. Item 1033021. This is small but mighty. It is because of the density and weight of the minerals present. Look at this beauty. Look at that. Now, let me tell you, for people like Brad and you fluorescent mineral collectors, if you want something that will light up your closet, like where I go to see them, or anywhere else, this is it. Cerussite. Cerussite is a lead carbonate. We had this lesson before, just like calcite is a calcium carbonate, rhodochrosite is a manganese carbonate. A carbonate ends in CO3. It's a very simple formula. Cerussite being a lead carbonate is PbCO3. Rhodochrosite is manganese carbonate, MnCO3. Calcite, CaCO3. That's all it is. You add a CO3 to it and you get a different name. Siderite is an iron carbonate. There's pretty much a carbonate to every metal ore that there is. Now, look at the weight, 250 grams. That is over half a pound in this small specimen, is because barite has a high specific gravity, and cerussite, being a lead carbonate, has a very high specific gravity, but there's something else adding to it. Look at that. Galena. Galena. Galena is a primary lead ore, and it is a simple lead sulfide, PBS. And talk about adding weight to it, it certainly will. And this is from Mibladen, Morocco, from the Leidalis mine, and an exquisite specimen. As we come in close one more time and show you, you can see that there's galena crystals back behind the cerussite. And look at that beautiful galena. This is a really showy piece. This is between the orange colors of the barite. But let me tell you what, there's nothing more exciting than when you take this into a dark room and put a UV ultraviolet light on it, and it just lights up like nobody's business. Tremendous piece. Price on this, a tremendous opportunity, $88. And here's the thing. These cerussites are very well formed, have excellent crystal characteristics to them. As you can see, many of them protected, but then look at one just hanging off the barite. Aesthetically, it is spectacular. Very pleasing to look at to the eye. And has extras being the fluorescence and the contrasting of colors. Look at the iris in that right there even. Wow. All right. That's another one not to miss out on. And we're not done yet. 103-2521. That's why if we didn't get to as many pieces, it's because today is quality, not quantity. Today is a collector's day. This is a day for those of you that want something of a little higher order and more tempting, let's say, than other pieces. These are pieces that I've never shown and that you have not seen in this show. Many of them I had to create and add the new mineral to the computer because they weren't in there. And this next one is one of them, item 103-2521. Let me show you. Look at this. Look at this. Japanese stibnite. Japanese stibnite. Not the Chinese stibnite. Now, the Chinese stibnites are tremendous. They're beautiful. Before the Chinese stibnites, though, there were the finest in the world were the Japanese stibnites. Now, the Japanese stibnites are hard to find. Here's the other really cool thing, and Dave is really zooming right in on them. The yellow? The yellow? You might think that that's something that you need to wash off. No. No. Don't you dare. That is Stibiconite. See, I haven't said that word. It was a new mineral to me. Let me say it in my head first. Stibiconite. Stibiconite? I don't know where to put the accent mark. But here it is. Those yellow formations, Stibiconite is an SB2+, SB3+. That is the formula. It is 2, then oxygen and OH. That's what Stibiconite is. And for it to have 2 different forms of stibnite by way of the 2+ and 3+ makes it really unusual. Look at this. Stibnite is one of my favorite minerals. It shows off so beautifully. And as you could see, maybe, there is a blue iridescence that reflects off the crystals. And it really makes it, as we come in closer on this, it really makes it so reflective. You can see, there we go, you can see that blue reflection. And let's come over here. There you go. You can see it on these as well. Look at this piece. Look at this piece. And it is from the, well, maybe my son could say it better since now he has been in Japan for quite some time and the military trained him in Japanese. So I won't try to say the name of the mine, but you can see it. This is a world-class specimen. World-class specimen. And from a location that you want it to be from. And the yellow, you want that as well. You want those yellow formations. They can be earthy, the Stibiconite. I wonder if this lays anywhere special. I think it does. It lays on its own in a really nice displayed way. Beautiful piece. The original Greek name, Stibi, that's how it got its name originally, from a Greek name. Then it was changed in the Latin name to Stibium. Stibnite itself is Sb2S3, so it's an antimony sulfide. Hardness of only 2. The Stibiconite is a hardness of 5.5 to 7. The mine closed in the 1950s. That's what makes this so rare. This piece was mined prior to the 1950s. SB is a formula symbol for antimony. And that's quite rare. And it has its 2 different, in the Stibiconite, the 2 different ion forms of it, which makes it really rare. You can add a new mineral to your collection by getting this piece. Price on this, and it's another one of those that, find another one because they're just not out there. Price on this one, an exceptional value of only $258. $258. Yep, you're getting to see the good stuff. We're not done, even though the clock's ticking. Item number 1032721. 1032721. Now, if you've already gotten one of these, it would be worth getting another one, getting this one, because you have never seen anything like it before. Item number 1032721. Not in this quality. Look at that. Yes, this is stunning. Look at that. That is a zircon piece out of this world. Look at that zircon. We're going to remove the darkness and bring out the light so you can see this in all of its incredible glory. Look at that. That looks like the pyramid, the Great Pyramid of Egypt, except it's missing a couple more. But it makes up for plenty of smaller ones around this. This is this was the best of all of the zircons. There is not another one I'm going to pull out that's better. This is it. And let's just look at the color in this. Look at that color. Wow. That is a remarkable, beautiful, and as we come across, you can see all the other little red crystals in this. Thank you, sir. Now, you want to know the funnest thing that you can do with this? Is go to the closet. Go to the closet with, look at this, with short wave, not long wave. Long wave won't do anything. It's amazing the difference. Short wave, ultraviolet light, and you will light this up. This will glow the most incredible color of yellow you have ever seen. It will be the brightest, most remarkable yellow, and you'd be able to find them all of them. Look at the back. Okay, so this has been sawn because you know why? And I didn't do it, but I bet the dealer wanted to know what was inside, just like I always say. And look at this. Look what he found inside. There are more huge zircon crystals that were on the inside of it. Now, I didn't do my spray on this, but you can do a spray to make it look wet and bring out the color. Biotite mica, and you have also agarine. We know what agarine is now, don't we? And you'll see the agarine. They're the ones with the crystalline formation versus the black shiny. See, that's going to be biotite mica. Anything that looks flaky and the agarine will be crystalline. And you'll have fun looking at the difference of them. Look at that. Look at that. Price on this guy, it's really a really good value for what it is. It's only $248. $248. It is a world-class specimen, stunning shortwave yellow fluorescence, and truly world-class. The finest one from the lot that I got. All right, let me take 1 minute to put this up and we'll be right back. I'm going to show you as many as I can in the next few minutes. All right, well, Dave zoomed in right on the money shot on this specimen. Look at that. Yeah, that is an aquamarine crystal, and that is facet grade quality. Look at that. And as he comes out with a shot, there's more than just that. Look at this. It's nestled amongst huge quartz crystal. There's so many different minerals in this. I don't know if we'll have time to talk about them, but we're going to go through them quick. There is schorl, which is black tourmaline. We have to look for that. Quartz, muscovite mica, aquamarine, and clevelandite. Let's continue to look around. Well, here's muscovite mica right here. We can see the muscovite right there. Oh, look at the back. There is the schorl, known as black tourmaline. Look at those crystals in there. You always wonder then what is on the inside. Look at all the different quartz crystals assembled together. What do we have here? Look at that. Look at that. How far deep does that go into the piece? I mean, I'm telling you, talk about color. That's beautiful. Then you have, look at these bookends of mica right there. Then the clevelandite is a type of feldspar that is always kind of bladed looking. And you have the blades of clevelandite over here. Of course, that aquamarine really standing out. That huge quartz crystal. This is, has everything going for it. Look at the schorl down here. And then you just have some classic feldspar. You know, there is too many crystals and things to look at here for me to be able to do it all on my own. This would take someone, like, if we can look right here. Look at that. Look at that. Garnet or something more rare. I didn't even list that. I just spotted that just now. I'll bet there is 2 or 3 other minerals. What? Look at this. What is this spray right here? Look at these. Look at these. Clevelandite? Maybe. Barite? Maybe. Something else? Maybe. Look at those. Now, that makes it interesting. I could talk about this. I don't have the time. I want to show you a few other things. But that aqua right there really stands out. Look at the color blue. Look at the color blue. Of course, that one is outstanding as well. And what a wondrous piece. What a wondrous, wondrous piece. Look at that. Sits and shows off gorgeous. Price on this, I am doing a show and go pricing on this guy. That means the price is coming down to only $118 on that one. That's a wow. Item number 948720. 948720. I only have three of these. And boy, oh boy, look at these. Look at these. Beautiful, beautiful grape orissa garnets. I tumbled them myself. Let me just show you some of the colors of these. And look at that. Look at that. I told you there's grape. I told you they're grape. Now, one's, yeah, there we go. There you go. That really shows off the color and the clarity. You can get your magnet out. Remember, to make a rhodolite garnet, it has to be about 30%, about 70% pyro, about 30% of almandine. So you're going to have an iron content in there. So you're also going to get a little bit mix of colors. What you do have, though, is an incredible color, beautiful grape color as well. For 50 carats, I only have 3 parcels. I had a whole lot of them to start with. 3 parcels. I am doing show and go pricing on these. $12 a parcel. $12. You know, What would it take to even find the garnets, let alone the time it took me to tumble through all the stages for $12 a parcel for 50 carats? Wow, that is exceptional. There shouldn't be one single one left after that. Let me show you. Item number 756318. 756318. Boy, oh boy. I have to show you these because of the value. We have 3 crystals. There's one of them. Here is another. This is Epidote. This is Epidote. Epidote, one of my really favorite minerals. And as a matter of fact, Raven bought 2 flats of them. The same flats that I think Anthony got an entire flat of. Look at this. Look at these crystals. All of them. There's so many beautiful sides to look at. You don't know where to start. Oh, what is that little magical crystal in there that I haven't determined what it is? Well, I'll let you determine. Start off. Go in the closet with a UV light. If it's calcite, it may fluoresce. That'd be a good hint to start with on that. This collection, it has all 3 of these. Look at this one. Look at this one. That is a spider web of crystals. As we come in close on it, you can really, really see. Look, imagine that. Imagine that. Growing in the pocket like that. I mean, wow. Okay, all 3. All 3. You wouldn't believe it. Show and go pricing makes all 3 of those only $38. $38 for all 3 of those. We have time for 1 or 2 more. Let me see if I can get them in there. Item number 723217. 723217. And this is one of the rarest, gorgeous colors you'll ever see of lepidolite. This, when I first saw this material come out years and years ago, it was insanely priced. I waited about a year and the price, I was so glad I did before I bought any. The price came down, thank goodness. But now the price is again crazy. Only found in one place, Itinga, and it has never been found. You remember, lepidolite is the mica that is usually often found in lilac colors or purple colors. They've carved with it before. This is a color never seen before, and classic mica look by way of the flakiness to it, though. I have a deal. We're going to show and go price this at only $44. If you do not have yellow lepidolite in your collection, you are missing out. That is certainly one that is deserving of adding to your collection. Now, let me show you this next item. It is 1021821. Oh boy. Look at this beauty. Of course, I have to show you a zeolite. Look at this. Look at this. Cabinet size quality. Cabinet size. You have stilbite and apophyllite on this, and on quartz. All on beautiful quartz. And look at how well formed these apophyllites are. Look at these. Look at that beautiful, beautiful shape to the crystals. Mirror apophyllites at that, which are more valuable. You see how they reflect back? And then look at those classic stilbites, the cream color stilbites. But look at how the snow style of crystalline quartz covering over them. This is a really wonderful, wonderful display. It looks like a great, great winter kind of item with that crystalline effect to the quartz. I'll let you, this will be, I'm not giving you this stand, it's kind of beat up. I'll let you find a perfect stand for it, but you can see how well it sits in a stand like that. How about a show and go price on this? For those of you that aren't familiar with show and go, that we're going to do a show and go at some point, but that's when we just show and go, where you get to see a lot of items. They're discounted, but you don't get the graphics. You just have to write down the item numbers. Price on this, we're going to go from $118, which was already an exceptional value, to $98 on that. $98 on that piece. And let's go with the last item of the show. 101-3621. 101-3621. I'm going to show you something so much more rare than you realize. Yellow brucite. Brucite used to only be kind of an industrial material until they discovered a find in Pakistan in the Kia Sophia area. And this is very much an example of how they look. They're really non-crystalline. They do have a crystal form to them, but it's often kind of indistinguishable. It's an unusual shape to it. As you can see, some of these shapes right here. It's a very soft material, and they can actually facet it. If you don't have one of these, then you again need to add it to your collection. It's a new discovery. I mean, meaning new by way of several years ago, which is new in the world, in the collector's world. Price on this guy is, wow. Okay, well, this material goes for a lot of money, but I'm going to make it so much less than it should be. Only $44 on that. $44 on that one. Take advantage of it. It is a wonderful yellow color. Great, great form to it, because a lot of them are seen just like this and getting harder and harder to find them. All right. Hope you took your notes. We're going to be back with the trivia. So, did you have as much fun as I did? I do. And, you know, we might not have gotten to as many pieces, but we certainly got to pieces you have not been exposed to, even if you go to the shows. Even if you go to the shows. Where have you seen Norwegian Peridot in matrix like that? That's like mind-blowing to be able to even see something like that. In talc? In talc? Really? You know, it's those items like that, and it's pieces like that that you can make exceptional opportunities because there's nothing to compare it to. And because of that, I even looked for some kind of price guidance when there is no other specimens that you can find to even compare to. That means that if there was one, you're going to see a price far beyond the very, very, I feel, very fair, low-end price that I've made them. The New Jersey sapphire piece. In my mind, I have no doubt that in the market, which would be at any show, if I had that and if I put $1,200 on it, you know, I wouldn't see any objection if I saw a dealer with a price like that on a crystal cluster of sapphire from New Jersey. That would seem fair. That would seem fair. $900, $1,200, $1,500, whatever you would want. Now, a single crystal may be different, but a sapphire cluster of large sapphires, not little tiny crystals. These are large sapphires with 4 other elements in the specimen. I don't know which one, which of those pieces I showed I am more excited about. the Norwegian Peridot, the New Jersey Sapphire, the really, really fine red zircon, the garnet from Lake Hako. I've had a couple others. I've seen those, but not some of the others. So I wanted to whet your appetite. Yes, we're getting deep into our inventory, and you're going to get the benefit of getting to see truly museum rarity specimens. So I hope you enjoyed the show. I certainly did. You know, I was thinking about harder, of course I would, harder trivia questions, because I am giving away some really cool trivia gifts. But I didn't make them too hard. So let's see what you think. I hope we get a lot of participation. Remember, it's real easy to just Shawn at gemshopping.com. That's all you really have to do, to send me a comment or your answer, or you can go to gemshopping.com and click on, you'll see my face, and follow the link. And that's how you get to the shows, and that's what you want to see. And that's how you also get to the How It's Done series, which you really need to watch every single one of them. You will not believe the amount of knowledge you will come away with. I know in particular that on some of the episodes, over 100,000 people have viewed them on some of them. So there is a lot of people that find them very useful. So that means that all of you should be one step ahead and watch them all, so that you have that same level of knowledge and be the go-to person by your neighbor, your friend, as to ask the question if they have any questions about a rock they found, or their ring, or how something is done. You can be the one to know that knowledge and know those answers. Just have fun and watch those episodes and watch this show and call that number on the screen when you see the item you want and make it yours. Make it yours. Because the more you do that, the more inclined I am to bring in some other items that I know you'd be interested in. But if I find you're not interested in that level of unique pieces, even though we do a lot of show and tell, I have to do this and have to say it. The underlying fact is we still have to be show and sell. And even as much as I hate giving up some of those pieces you see, it's still a business. And if I put them up, yes, it'd be heartbreaking. But guess what? I want to know where they go. And if I don't start doing that now, I won't know in the end. My son will be skipping them across a lake. Oh, that big Norwegian Peridot only got one, Dad. Of course, I'll be, buried and gone. But, I'd say, son, you just threw a $200 or $300 rock in the lake. We don't want that to happen. I'd rather know where the things go. Here we go. Question number 1. Cerusite. Yes, we talked about it. I hope you remember about it or took notes. Is a carbonate of what element? Cerusite is a carbonate of what element? We talked about that. That's all I'm going to have to say. Question number 2. What's the name of the mountain range that red beryl is found in or associated with? What is the name of the mountain range that red beryl is associated with? That should be kind of simple, I hope. And if you don't know it, You should know it. It is an American gem. It is found nowhere else but in America. And I gave you a chance to buy one at a really inexpensive price. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of them all. Because if you do, like I said, then I may bring in some other really dear pieces like I did today. That Norwegian Peridot, really? Yes, really. That Stibnite with Stibiconite in it? Where are you going to find that? You might find Stibnite, it'll be Chinese. But Japanese? Just saying. All right, had a lot of fun. Hope you did too. Everybody stay healthy. I hope to be back at full strength today. Personally, I hope you saw kind of a normal Shawn, but even Asif said to me he wants the old Shawn back, and I want the old Shawn back. So, let's all pray for each other that we all maintain our health, and those of us that need to get back to that level of health, pray for them and put me in that list, because I want to get back to the old Shawn. God bless all of you. I've had so much fun. Your comments keep me going. I look so much forward to them. Even negative comments, I accept. They don't always have to be nice ones, If you have something, issue, whatever, let me know. I can take it, and we can talk about it. So until next week, I will think of all of you and miss all of you, and I can't wait to create a inventory list and items to enlighten you and to make all of you look forward to the next show, because that's what it's all about. Passion for what we're doing, for what we're seeing, and hopefully for what you're buying. God bless. See you next week.